My father was an architect, my mom was in the arts, she was a music major, my grandmother was an artist, so I had that in me to notice light and to be attracted to things and to form things up in a viewfinder. It was really easy to apply all that to the ocean. So my first camera was a Pentax H1A, had a cloth shutter. When I first got my camera, I started seeing light in puddles, or lining up shadows on fence lines and things like that. So I kind of had that in me, but I was doing that without thinking about it. I hate to say it's magical, but it kind of was, because you'd take a photo, it would be a still on Kodachrome, and it was hard to expose. You had to learn all about exposure, and I'd paddle out on a raft at Wind and Sea with my Scott Price water housing, and you're manually focusing it, and all this stuff is happening. You're shooting photos, but you're kind of going, well, I hope something came out, and then you'd wait a week to get your transparency out, and you're taking them out of the box one by one, and you're going like this, and you get to the one magic one of, let's say, Tom Ortner, and you just go, oh my God, like to get one good one would just freak you out, and it's hard to describe. It's like you just won a prize or something like that. As a surf photographer, you think of a lot of things all at once, especially when it's on. It can be offshore, front lit, Larry light, and so you're thinking of all those things like it's perfect Larry light, perfect front lit, and so therefore get out the telephoto, get what you got to get, because in the back of your mind you're thinking the weather can change, the wind can turn, so you might as well get what you can get of the surf man on wave, and get that under your belt. Then at the same time you usually have your camera back, so you have different lenses, different bodies. You're getting people, you're getting place, you're getting action. You start shooting guys walking up the beach, or you turn around in a lull, you get them hanging in the parking lot. But sometimes you go, God, I've shot enough of this, and you'll just walk away from your whole setup and go up on the hill and get a lineup with foreground and the whole thing. And that's hard, because when you see a set coming, you're going, oh my God, I'm missing somebody on a wave, and you feel like if you're not getting the tight action, you're missing it. There is some art to shooting surf photography, obviously, like the angles you get on, if you're looking into it, you're looking straight on, the type of lens you're using, the athlete and what you capture, his body language, and anticipate a moment. I guess you could call it art, but it's not art like you'd think of art. I'd go to these places that were really early on in their development, and there had been people there before me, but sometimes they were so isolated that you'd pull up and there's no one around, like say Uluwatu in Bali. Now that I think back on it, one of my favorite things when I first went to Jeffreys Bay, or I first went to Bali, or I first went to Mauritius or Porto Escondido, was in your mind's eye, your first look over the berm, or in the car park, or up on the cliff, or from the boat, is your first look when it's good. That like just burns into your memory of you can imagine Uluwatu, and I finally arrive and I'm all out of breath, and I look over the cliff and it's just going like that, 4 waves in a row. Or Jeffreys Bay, just roping around the point, and you just go, alert, alert, get your act together, get out there, take photos, or go surfing or whatever. So that's my favorite part, is the first look. Out of all the action and man on wave and all this stuff I've shot over the years, this photo has resonated with people more than anything. This is Button's Kaluhia Kalani, and he had just burned a guy, and because of his personality, he was so upbeat. He'd start chit-chatting and chattering, and so there was a guy about 20, 30 feet away on the inside just screaming at you, because Buttons had cut him off. So at that millisecond, Buttons is going, hey bro, peace, man, click. Fast forward to 97, Indonesia, Lance's writes, this is Andy Irons just going off in front of the boatload of Quiksilver executives who had just passed on signing Andy to their team, and then Gotcha got him. And so he was doing this, like, you know how you see certain performances that you never forget? Well, that's what that was. That was Andy in Indonesia. Surf photos are kind of more game films, like because it's a sport, and you know what's going on. You're going, okay, here comes the set. Whereas the artistic aspect of it is more roaming around and seeing what you see and capturing what you see. My work spans from, this era to the Parco era. I think I've had somewhere like in the range of 25 to 28 covers. I've counted them, but I can't quite remember. And that's just kind of surfer and, basically surfer. Then you could add on a lot of covers of random things like Dance Magazine or How, or I've had a lot of covers in Japan and Australia that I've never really added up. But, there's not much money involved, but it's sure is a thrill as a photographer to get a cover. We're all unique, we're all fingerprints, and we all have unique DNA, and we're all seeing things completely differently. And there's a whole almost mathematical science to how your brain forms up things in a little frame, and everybody forms them up differently. So therefore, that means don't worry about the other guy. Your work is unique, and it means it doesn't matter what friggin' camera you have. It's more in here than in this technical machine. It's a tool.